We're good. We're live.
Yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. Thanks for joining us on Sylvia Findings, the Wednesday morning live stream. I know I keep saying morning, and if you're pretty much anywhere except British Columbia, it's not morning anymore. But too bad. It's my morning, so I'm thinking morning. Um, we do this every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific, and extrapolate it out to whatever time zone you're in to keep connected with our customers because the live shows, the trade shows, gem shows, mineral shows, club shows are all not happening because of the pandemic. Hopefully, man, I'm hoping by the end of the year. Although it just keeps going later and later, and people keep, promoters keep canceling their shows. So we'll see. As we've been saying around here lately, the new normal is is the normal now. I think the old normal is not coming back, but we'll do what we can. Hopefully, we can keep connected with you guys enough. I know you love us, no matter what, whether you see us in person or just on the website. But the website can be impersonal and cold sometimes. Um, and we like to have that connection with you guys. My name is Mark. I'll be your live streamer today, as always. Um And today we're going to talk a little bit about charms that we carry. Of course, SilviaFindings, we're the premier um, supplier of sterling silver findings for lapidaries, jewelers, hobbyists, you name it. Uh, pendants like crazy all day long, rings forever. But not just pendants and rings, for setting stones. We also have finished chains in bulk, beads, wire, sheet metal. Boy, you name it, we have it. And I'm sure tons of stuff that I'm, not remembering off the top of my head. Um, And we just if you look at some of the other, I should think you can find them on YouTube, the previous live streams to see a lot of the different product lines that we carry. And we're just trying to showcase a new one every week. Trying to keep these streams not overly long, although I have a hard time with that because I tend to ramble on sometimes once I get going. Um, Last week when I said what we would be doing this week, I said we'll be doing probably charms and connectors. But looking at just when I was pulling stuff for the stream, realizing that there's way too many if I tried to cover both of those categories. So we're going to do charms this week, and we'll do connectors next week because there's tons of really cool things that you can do with connectors, and I don't want to gloss over that. Oh, look at these cool things without trying to explain the myriad ways you could use them in your jewelry making. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, concerns, criticisms, any other C things I could think of, I love the alliterations. Please jump into the chat and. I guess you're already in the chat. I guess that's if you're here. There's a chat box there. You can, enter a comment. So please enter a comment or just a smile, a wave. Hi. We like to know that you're here. If you share this stream, we'll send you one of these free polishing cloths. These are just regular old. They're not regular old. They're usual jewelry polishing cloth, chamois material, infused with a chemical that helps remove the cupric oxide, which is the fancy name for tarnish, from the surface of your metal. Helps unbind the copper and the oxygen. And you can use these things until they're completely black. And even then, you could probably keep using them for a little while. Just don't ever wash them. Because if you throw this in the washing machine and try to wash it, you'll remove all of the the chemical that helps polishing the material. So I know jewelers have so many things. Have you ever noticed every jeweler I've ever met, their fingers are a mess. They're always dirty and their nails are all broken and they probably have gouges and scrapes and burns and stuff on them. That's how you know a good jeweler, when their hands are a mess. But that's neither here nor there. Just a few housekeeping things. The state of shipping has not improved considerably. It's a little better in Canada, although just today we had a customer asking about a shipment that they ordered on the 14th, and today's the 26th. And when I checked, because Canada Post does this really super annoying thing where when you ship a parcel from, say, British Columbia to Ontario, once it leaves the postal processing center in British Columbia, they don't scan it again until it actually gets to the destination post office. Or if they do scan it somewhere in the sorting facility or whatever, it doesn't show up in the tracking information. So, if we ship something on, say, the first of them, or in this case, it was the 14th we shipped it, it says, shipment on the way, and then I think on the 17th, it said item has left the British Columbia sorting facility. And then there was nothing again until this morning when it said it's arrived in Barrie, Ontario, which is the destination city. So even though I know it went through at least one other facility between the Richmond plant here and the Barrie, Ontario plant sorting facility, it doesn't show up in the tracking. So it's kind of annoying. It makes people anxious. Where's my baggage? Is it lost? The thing and stuff. And the vast majority of instances is not lost. It's just that they're super overwhelmed, I guess, between people, postal employees, being quarantined and the volumes being so much higher because everybody's ordering stuff from Amazon or whatever, or us, or wherever. Nobody's actually shopping in the brick and mortar stores, which hopefully that happens again soon, because boy, you need that for a functioning economy, but that's not why you're here, to hear my critique about the state of the world. So yes, shipping is still kind of bad. I can't say it's much better if you're shipping overseas. You're still looking at, you got to count on at least a month if we're shipping via post to Europe or wherever. You can always use the DHL service that we have on the website now. That'll get you there in 3 days, I think, is the average for most of Europe if you're shipping there, or Australia, Japan, wherever. The problem with that, it's not really a problem, but the issue with that is that obviously it costs more. And they'll charge you for brokerage. Whereas if a postal shipment, they won't charge you for brokerage and import duty fees. But DHL will. They'll charge you like $12 or $15, I think, for that. So just be aware of that when you're ordering. Obviously, we do our best to ship every order the same day we get it. Sometimes if there are issues, it'll be the next day, but I would say 90% of the time, maybe 95% of the time, we ship orders the same day we get them, as long as it's during business hours. If we close here at 5:30 Pacific time, so if you order something at 5:45, it's not shipping today. It's shipping tomorrow, because I'm already gone. Our shippers close at 6 p.m., so we have to bring all of our parcels down there to have them, put them into the system. So, like that. Again, if you have any comments, concerns, questions, please, join us in the chat, say hi, or not. Another note, I'm going to harp on this every time, but we always have questions every week, almost every day now, it seems like. Well, maybe not every day. Most days, every other day at least, let's say. For custom work, I've got a stone that's 17.5 millimeters by 23.5 millimeters, and none of your settings will fit. Can you the answer to whatever that question is going to be is almost always, yeah, we can do whatever we want. We're the factory. We have the capability to do custom work. So when you're on the website, just look at it's one of the only menu bar selections that's in gold, DIY jewelry. Look at that and look at the DIY custom made jewelry. All the information is there. And it's a hell of a deal. I'm going to go ahead and say that out loud. It's a really amazing deal. $65 or $70, I think.
65.
65 for silver. For sterling silver, gold is obviously more. But sterling silver, $65 for just about anything up to 5 grams. Obviously, if it's some crazy elaborate piece that has to be cast in multiple parts and then soldered together, there's more labor involved. So, yeah. If you have an idea, a concept, you can draw it. It doesn't even have to be very good drawing. My drawing is terrible, but these designers are awesome, and they always, manage to extrapolate from what we're sending them. They always come up with really, really great stuff. And maybe I could talk about that one whole session thing, show you
we will have
some things.
10 custom-made orders coming in the end of this shipment.
Oh, nice. 10. So I guess in the next shipment we have 10 custom-made orders coming in. And if they're not here, physically here, when we do a live stream, I'll at the very least take pictures and show them to you guys. What we can do. Just do. There's always a way, no matter what.
The customer reply you delivered already. You reply.
Oh, good. So that customer I was talking about who was having trouble, I guess her shipping was delivered. You see, Canada Post, they need to have. Who's the best company as far as tracking goes is FedEx. If you've ever shipped something by FedEx, every time, if it moves from one side of the truck to another, they scan it and it shows up on the thing. The driver moved it 3 feet. It's okay, great. Good to know. When am I getting it? But yeah, that's one thing that's always impressed me about FedEx is how amazing their tracking is. But there's a reason why you pay that much for FedEx, I guess, is to get that tracking information. Anyway, enough about all that. Let me get into what we're talking about today. You see, I've already gone 12 minutes and I haven't even shown you one thing yet. Oh boy. I thought, let me try to keep this under an hour. Maybe let's do 45 minutes or so, but I feel like, again, we're going to end up going long. But I'm going to try. Maybe I'm not going to show you everything, obviously, because there's too many charms. The difference between like a charm and a connector is it can be subtle, and sometimes you can use connectors as charms and charms as connectors, I guess, depending how you how creative you want to get with how to use the pieces. But generally, as far as we're concerned, charm is something that has a loop that you're going to dangle from something. So it's something cute or scary or beautiful. They're always beautiful, right? No matter what, even if they're scary, beautiful. I'm going to show you one in a minute that, to me, is scary but beautiful. Scary. But, a charm, so something like this, right? It's cute. Little lock and key, right? Charm set. It's just a loop in the top of that. And I got this. I thought I was going to be clever and remove the caps from the bottles. But anyway, this is LE351 is that the SKU for that cute little thing. And I double checked with the second one, and if you try with two, the key from one doesn't actually fit in the hole. in the hole. So
it's somebody else's key.
It's somebody else's key. So
there are some locks never can be opened.
That's right. Oh man. How's that? You see, now you're getting romantic advice from the live stream here. There are some locks that cannot be opened. So, or something like this. Right here's a quintessential charm, something you'd find on any charm bracelet. That lovely um, little elephant. LE470 is the SKU of that thing. And I'm not going to read the prices because silver's just gone. I didn't really talk about that. Silver's gone up. I think when I was looking yesterday, it was like it had been up like 62% in the past 2 months. Crazy. So, the margins are already pretty small on sterling. So we had to update some of the prices. These charms, I think, have gone up probably 25 or 30%. Um, uh, average. So I don't want to read the prices because they'll be wrong. I don't want to give you wrong information. But anyway, so to me, that's a charm, right? Something, with a loop that you're going to dangle off a chain or a necklace or a thing or something that you're going to dangle off something else. Connector, yeah.
Excuse me. You can tell audience before we adjust the price, the customer still can order those items on the website or come to the office to buy at the previous price until we adjust the price.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I guess until the prices have been updated, if you buy, whatever you buy online, if we haven't updated the prices on the website or thing, you can get them at the old price until they're, I think, as long as they're still there. So that's nice. A connector is something like this, where this is obviously a connector, gorgeous, chandelier kind of earring piece. When I look at that, I think of that kind of thing. Well, you can use it as a necklace connector, statement piece down at the bottom. You can imagine this at the bottom of a necklace with a bunch of things dangling off the end of that, right? Or something as simple as that, right? With a loop at, both ends, this lovely little bow thing. Right? Lovely little bow with a loop at both ends. So that, to connect things to other things. That's why we call it a connector instead of a charm. Although with either of those things, or probably more with the bow one, but you could just snip one of the loops off and have it dangling off and have that be a charm. Or dangle a bead, put a head pin with a loop in the end of that, off the end of a bead, and hang a bead off the end of that. But it's a subtle difference, but it's a big of enough difference that I'm going to keep them separate, because if I tried to do all, it would be too much. We would be here literally all day, which I'm sure you're pretty much already sick of me by now. So let me show you one. Here's one of those things that I thought was scary but beautiful, right? This bird skull charm with a flower in the top of that, kind of a plumeria flower motif in the top there, right? With a loop. This SKU of this is LE452, and we've got a couple of charms in that vein, that kind of a animal vein. Here's a lovely rhinoceros head. That's a big charm. This one is LE492. It's a heavy one too. Just, gosh, pretty sturdy. It's hollow, but it's still, pretty voluminous to make it pretty heavy. Here's another. I thought I'd be clever by taking the I thought I'd be clever by taking the lids off, but it doesn't seem to be helping. Here's another. This is so awesome, right? If you're into that kind of macabre, sensibility, right? It's a lovely skeletal hand with some bones and stuff on there. God, I love that. Obviously not everyone's taste, but the people who have this taste think this is delicious. LE486 is that super. God, I love that charm. Clearly, that was made after my taste. Here's another one. It's a skull head. God, I love that. Right, nice big. I had an idea that I was gonna buy one of these and saw the back of the head off, and then solder it onto a ring shank and set some stones on the eyeballs. Marvel, I think we should make a ring with the skull to set stones and two stones on the eyeballs.
The two eyes, right?
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
that would be so cool.
It's a good idea. Yes, I'm on
So that is LE488 on that.
LE488.
Yeah. So here's another bird. Although this is probably more. This is definitely a connector. So you'll probably see this again next week. Another bird skull. I love this thing. LE483. And where is? Then there's this one, which I previewed last week. Which this is my favorite charm of all of them. This awesome. I don't know what it is. Animal skull with their articulated thing. I like to think of it as like a dinosaur, but or a dragon skull with the articulated jaw. And that one, the SKU for that is LE487. I love that charm. Also, as far as like articulated charms go, another one of my favorites is this turtle charm with the the legs and the tail and the head are all articulated, right? This thing has to be cast in let me look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces, and then assembled, by a jeweler and soldered together. And there's an artist out there that his name is Robert Burkett or Bob Burkett. You can Google him, look him up. He makes something similar. They're a little bit bigger. He makes them with casts them in shibuichi, which is Japanese alloy of it's copper and silver, but it's like 70% copper, 30% silver. I think off the top of my head, I'm probably wrong. Don't quote me on that. But it's an alloy of copper and silver, and it looks very red, the metal. But it's really lustrous and gorgeous. And I think he charges something like $300 or $400 for the sea turtle castings that he have. Again, they're a little bit bigger, but it's the same idea, right? All these pieces are articulated, super difficult, charm to construct. But did I give the code? LE062 is this one, and golly, I love that charm. So. Here's another charm, and again, a lot of these charms have bails, right? But if you're putting these on a charm bracelet, you could just snip the bail off, and there's always a loop attached to it that you can, attach to the charm bracelet, right? This lovely three-dimensional bird, eagle, taking flight. Maybe it's about to land and jump on a fish that's in a stream somewhere. And here's another one. Lovely ram skull thing with that stuff. Okay, I think I'm gonna enough with the macabre stuff here. The rest are all gonna be happy, beautiful, cute little things. This super little flower charm, LE373. I don't know if you can see the texture on that, but just lovely. Now, all of these charms, well, I don't know all, most of these charms are always going to have a loop attached to them, attached to or I should say there'll be a soldered jump ring attached to the loop. Usually they're soldered. And you can always, right, so there's the loop that's cast as part of the the horse, but there's also a jump ring attached to that. I don't know if you can see, maybe if I put it upside down you can see that, right, the extra loop there. That's the loop that you would connect it to a charm bracelet with. Lovely hopping stallion there. Here's a great big elephant, right? Hollow, soldered, two pieces soldered together to create that charm. Have you noticed? I don't know if you've ever noticed. Anytime you see, especially in jewelry, elephant carvings, charms, things like that, the trunk is always pointing up. It has to be pointing up. That's good luck. If the charm is pointing, if the trunk is pointing down, it's considered bad luck in many cultures. That's why they're always pointing up. It's good luck. Bring you good luck. Right? Learn something new every day. Here's another kind of like that lock and key chain. Just camera on that. Right, there's a couple of leaves. Right, it's a maple leaf, I think. And this, and the words say, "Turn over a new leaf." Right. So I guess maybe it should be like that, with the smaller one in front and the bigger one behind. Turn over a new leaf. That's a great charm. Double charm. That's a LE438. Use the SKU for that one. Nice. Here's it's kind of like a little kitty, kitty bell. You know, have you ever seen those clocks where the tail, wags and the eyeballs, go back and forth, little kitty clocks? That's what this reminds me of.
It's this cat bring money.
Oh, this cat, the cat brings money.
Yeah, from Japan. I think Japanese story.
There's anyway some looks like kanji on there. So if you can read that, let us know what it means in the comments. Unless it means something bad, I don't think it would. But you're destined to live in the hell of boiling oil. I don't know, but and it jingles too. So I don't know if you can hear that over the thing, but it's making a cute little jingling sound. Of course, lots of fishy kind of charms thing, right? Here's a great big goldfish charm. That one, LE441 is your stuff. I love this one because the silver is very matte. It's like boy, I don't know. There's a couple ways you can get that effect, and I'm not sure how they did it on this because there are some sections of this that are shiny, polished, spots on there, kind of thing. But cute, super cute little snake charm, right? It's LE403 is your total, and this is even though it's kind of big, it's hollow, so it's also pretty light. Really nice and very cool effect on that thing. Of course, we have coinish charms, I guess. This one is I'm going to get the pronunciation wrong. Yggdrasil, the tree of life, right? Lovely little charm, the thing, and that other kind of I don't know if that's kind of a Celtic pattern on the back, but that's definitely the tree of life. With no, that's Molnir on the bottom of that, and just so you get an idea of how over the top, extravagant. Oh, that's a connector because it's a loop in the bottom. Ah! Well, I'll show it to you now. You can see it again next week. You can use this sideways or straight up and down. Looks like a fox, right? With that marcasite, stones, pave effect. Golly, that's really cool. I don't think I've ever seen this one out of the jar. And it looks different when you're looking at it in the jar, but when you look at it like this, man, I can think of like a million ways to use this thing in a necklace. Very cool. So that Fox is CN201. I should have known by that thing that this charm. As far as feather charms, we have so many. This one, CN229. I'm going to show you this, even though what you can't see under my thumb is that, oh, there's another loop there, so it's actually a connector. But you can cut that loop off and dangle that as a charm, right? There's that one. And we've got another one like that, nice wide one with some, yeah, very cool. There's some, like when you see feathers that are all pristine, right, is so, I don't know, seems so not real. Whereas these are, it looks more, I guess, accurate as far as the gaps between the golly, I don't know the word for the little pieces in between the quills, in between the the little fronds that come off the edge of the side of the feather. And here's another feather charm, cute little pointy one. LE423 is this one. I know there are more, but they weren't in the same tray as those others. And I'll probably come across them a little bit later. Here's another turtle charm. Right, this is a little bit off center. Right, that lovely sea turtle thing. This is a hollow one, all one piece. And there's a bunch of symbols on there. I don't know if this is that that turtle that's, what is the name of that turtle that carries the universe on his back, or carries the world on its back? Kind of like a different version of the flat earthers, right? I believe that the world is being carried by a turtle. Well, we have a charm to commemorate that. Here's a, I'm going to show you two actually in this sort of series. This is like that other snake charm, right? Little, looks like a little Scotty dog, maybe. Maybe his ears are a little too floppy for a Scotty dog. But again, hollow with that very cool matte finish on the outside. This one is LE404, and I know there is, where is it? I think there's a cat too somewhere. It's not this one, but this one. Cat lovers are going to love this one. Actually, I made my sister a necklace with this. She's a cat lover. Not one of those crazy cat ladies, because she only has one, but She loves her cat. This, I don't know if you could see that. There's like the cat's wearing a necklace of cubic zirconias. Very cute. Again, hollow, so it's not super heavy. Ergo, not super expensive. This one, LE227, is your code number for that. Going back to the animal motif. There's one. I don't know if that's the neck is not long enough to be a giraffe, so I guess it's a horse, but spotted horse.
Yeah, it's a horse.
It's a horse, not a zebra because it's not stripes, but very cute. Again, hollow, nice big thick one, charm. So if you're into equestrian sports, that's a great addition to your thing. I'm going to show you a couple of charms in a row now. Here's a foot, right?
The customer can stand the no-go or
Right.
other things on it.
So this and the next two I'm going to show you also are all the same basic concept. You can, if you know somebody who can engrave, something, you can just, engrave, I don't know, something on there, a birthday, anniversary, a beach trip. Right? Here's a lovely heart charm. I didn't get that little. The foot is LE467, and this one, this heart charm, LE4466. And again, great for thing. And you know what? You can go many malls, if you could still find a mall that's still open. They have these little kiosks, and every once in a while you'll find a kiosk that does, they'll photograph your face onto a mug, or they'll thing. And a lot of those also will engrave keychains and stuff. You can bring them this and make them engrave something on here. They're going to charge you for it because you're not buying their tchotchkes to do the engraving on, but here's a cute little flower, LE017, right? Nice little daisy flower, dangled. Again, specifically made, although I guess you don't really have to, but the concept of those is to definitely for engraving your own. Here's a cute little, that's a tiny one. Cute little owl. Oh. Who, you say? I don't know who. Oh boy, that's a terrible joke. LE463 is the code of that. If you could see the texture on that. Golly, it's a shame I can't get this closer. Nope. The perils of using a camera phone is that I feel like you can never get close enough for it to stay in focus. Anyway, that's very cute. Little owl. Of course, charms don't have to be a thing. They can just be a thing. Like this. It's just a little square, rod. I'm sure in some cultures this has some significance, but I just think it's cool. LE454 is the code of that. Right, just a little square post. I guess if your engraving is really good, you could probably engrave something on that post. It's kind of tiny, but gosh, it's at least 1.5 millimeters across. Here's another great one. Very specific. right?
Figure skating.
Figure skater. Well, I guess you can almost probably get away with a hockey player too. Although hockey players don't normally have that heel on their skates, so yeah, figure skater. Probably figure skaters wear more charm bracelets than hockey players do. Golly, that was gender specific, and so I'm going to take that back and say, boy, lots of hockey players would love to have that on their charm bracelets. Right, nice and hollow. Very cute. That skate is LE230 is the code of that. I feel like I'm sticking too far on one tray. And here's a nice, cute little leaping dolphin, LE393, right? So it's kind of getting the idea that there isn't really a subgenre of charms that we don't have things for. Oh, golly, here's another. Oh, that's a connector. Never mind. Here. Oh, wow. Here's a cool one. Come on, change. There we go. So here's it's like a tube, right? The bail is like a tube, that you can put your chain through. And then there's two crowns, I guess, for the king and the queen, if you're the royal family. Or
You have a dream.
if you have a dream of being a royal family. I actually know somebody, a very lovely guy, who calls his wife my queen. Not going to say who that is, not important. But you know him, you love him. Here's another lovely. It's always amusing to me when she calls him on his phone and his phone lights up. My queen. I like that. LE513 is the SKU for this lovely charm with these laurel leaves. I guess if it's victory, right? If you're victorious over something, that's a great charm to put on your charm bracelet or dangle off something. Here's another one of Yggdrasil, the Tree of Life. Although the roots are totally visible. I don't know if you can see that from there, but they're totally visible on the charm, sort of thing. Very cool. Nice open, structure. So you can see lots of light through there. LE514 on that charm. There's one that, oh God, I love this. I'm a sucker for tassels, so it's just a charm, almost like a cap with these chains dangling from there, right? How awesome is that tassel? LE522 is your SKU for that. So, okay. I could spend too much time looking at that. Here's another, that same idea. A little different cap, a little bit shorter chains, but awesome. Boy, and this kind of thing, I always like, and I'm probably going to keep these out for next week, because when I show you things to do with connectors, right? If you have an ear wire, you can string get an eye pin, put a bead on there, put a loop in the other end, put the connector on, and then dangle something like this off the other end. You've got these gorgeous, big, beautiful earrings with almost no effort. You know, just putting a few things together. You know, this is more for next week, but it's actually kind of amazing when you think about how many different ways you can use any one piece. You know, for whatever you're doing. Except these are just for dangles. Lovely lotus flower blossom there. I don't know if you can see the detail on that. Looks like it's a little too light. But that's on the lotus blossom. LE528 is the SKU of that. Here's another tree. This is not the legendary tree of life. That's just a tree, but very cute. Arbor Day, maybe? Or if you have somebody who's a botanist, you can get them that little charm, right? Something like that as a charm bracelet. Or if you plant a tree, which you should do, just because. Here's one that I love. This it's just a wing charm, right? So it's just a wing. Boy, and wings can be representative of so many things. I know there's a jeweler in Bainbridge Island, Washington, named Sherry Eckert. You should look her up. She makes tons of jewelry with wings. If you want to get some ideas. Oh, here's the tray that I was looking for before when I had those feathers. There's a lot more feathers in here. And I'm going to show you about a couple of them anyway, not all of them, but right, so another charm. This one, LE433, is a charm with feathers. Again, a little more technically accurate with the parts of the quills pulled open. I think I read somewhere that and I've never actually tried it, but in most feathers you can, if you find them with the quills pulled open like this, if you start from the top and just pinch these in between your finger and pull down, you can get those pieces to snap back together almost like a zipper. LE469 is the code of that. Almost gone. Oh God, getting on 50 minutes. Okay, we can speed this up. This, I think, is far and away our best-selling feather charm. That one, that lovely. It's a good size, good length, maybe I don't know, an inch long or so. 33 millimeters long is that thing. So it's a good size, not super big, obtrusive. You can dangle that off an ear wire with a bunch of other things. You can dangle it off a charm bracelet. It's antiqued, so you can really see the detail on there. That LE257 is the code number. And I don't know, personally, I feel like we've sold more of that particular feather than all the rest of them, probably combined. Leaves, golly, so many. This lovely, texture, right? Leaf, kind of a very simple, charm. LE414 is the code number of that, and I love that. The texture is kind of exaggerated, but man, you obviously know it's a leaf. That shape you can, get away with putting just about anything on there. But and here's another one, a little more detail, a little shinier, a little more antiqued, right? Nice stylized leaf. Who doesn't love those leaves? It's kind of like you almost have to have one of those on a charm bracelet. Well, I guess you don't have to, but um, there are more leaves. I know there are more leaves. I don't want to go trying to speed up again at the end. Here's a gorgeous starfish thing. I don't know if you could see really well the texture on that, but I've played with many starfish as an avid scuba diver, so I can tell you that that's pretty accurate as far as how that particular sea star looks. Obviously, there are other ones that have way more arms, um, that are way more frightening. Uh, my favorite thing to do, not important, as a scuba diver, is to put sea stars on top of um, what are those, like scallops, because um, when the scallops they're normally just sitting on the bottom of the thing, and when the sea star comes on them and starts grabbing them, because it'll push it into its mouth and it'll digest it, the mollusk will stick its leg out like a leg that will just go, it's really bizarre if you've never seen it. That's something if you want to go down some crazy YouTube rabbit hole of undersea life. Neither here nor there. Here's a gorgeous clamshell. Um, you know, I don't know what you would want to do with this, but if I could make a suggestion, if it were me, I would probably pry that open and stick a pearl in there, and then pinch it back closed so that it's held in place. So it could move around. Maybe it might even jingle a little bit. But golly, that would be cool. Or just as it is. LE477 is that lovely clamshell. And that's all one piece, right? So I know, was it last week? 2 weeks ago? No, last week when we were doing the pearls. I showed you that one charm, that pendant that we have, where the two pieces open and reveals the inside. That one doesn't open. But it's very cool. Here's lovely big charm, flowery of leafy motif with I don't know, some very cool organic looking thing there. I don't know if you can see the texture on there. Some of the leaves are nice and smooth and shiny, and others have this almost like granulation texture on them. Nothing is not true granulation because that's part of the casting, and the dots on the piece underneath are just little indentations. True granulation is pretty rare to find because it's so super labor intensive. You actually have to melt all of the dots first, and then using, I must have missed this one from the beginning. We were talking about all the scary beautiful charms. This lovely bird charm, eagle head, eagle skull charm. This eagle skull, LE489. I'm harping on the skulls. I don't want to do that. Golly, here's a, it didn't really occur to me before, but we have quite a few of these Tree of Life charms. This one also has some writing on the back, or it's not writing, it's just texture on the back. Very cool. Anyway, that tree charm, LE420. Oh boy, I'm mixing things up now. And of course, hearts. You gotta have hearts. Right, here's a lovely open hollow heart where the jump ring goes through one of the loops, right? Dangles a little bit off center. Very cute. Not super heavy, right? So it's pretty inexpensive. LE381 is your SKU for that one. And then we have a couple of other hearts. This one is solid close. I don't know if I can hold on to that without losing it. Oh boy. Right? I don't know if you can see that, right? It's three-dimensional. It's completely closed, but it's hollow, so it's not super heavy. Relatively inexpensive. LE380 is your SKU for that. And that's just a classic, puffy heart, thing. This is a good example of, people will tell you that if you're soldering, things like that, because to make one of those, if you had, I'll segue here a little bit into this. If you have something like a charm like this, right? So this is just a cute little heart charm. It's hollow or whatever. It's all one piece, right? But I don't know if you can see it's kind of domed, right? So it's flat if you put this against, the table, but it's puffy, right? It's, bulged out. If you took two of those and soldered them together, you could get one like that other thing. And people will tell you that you can't do that because when you try to solder, here's something kind of like in between, right? The same idea, right? If you try to solder these two things together, the gases that get trapped inside when it solders will try to expand and it'll explode, which is just wrong. Don't listen to those people. You don't have to drill a hole in it. What does the other people say? You must drill a hole in there to allow the gases to escape. You don't. I'm not a big fan of people telling me what I can and can't do as far as jewelry. Not a big fan of you must when you're making stuff. If you have an idea, try it. Here's a charm. I don't know what that is. 96 maybe? I don't know. But
it's a symbol, kind of symbol.
It's just a kind of symbol, but it's very cool. LE020. And you could probably use this as a connector too.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Very symmetrical, which makes me happy. Here's one. I think we've only got one left of this. This is the last one of this. And this is like, I don't know, that's right out of some fantasy movie. Right? A charm with that lovely flowing script pattern. I don't think it actually means anything. But again, this is cast as three pieces: the loop, the background, and then the foreground piece, and then they're all soldered together. So a little more labor intensive than just a regular old thing. This the last one. Get it while you can. LE290 is the SKU for that. Oh gosh, I don't want to forget. We have a bunch of crosses too. And I'm already getting into crap. I've already been an hour. So this gorgeous rose, look at that. That is super gorgeous. Again, this also cast 1, 2, 3 pieces. Each one of these sections of cups are separate and then have to be soldered together, right? Um, I don't care how good you are, you can't cast this all in one piece. It's not physically possible. Um, so I love this, and that's a pretty big one. That's like almost 40 millimeters long. It says 39 by 18. LE295 is your code for that. God, I just love that. That's like you could put that on a necklace as a statement piece, right in the center, right in the center of that. Put that there because of that. Oh my gosh, there's too many good ones. More feathers, more feathers. I'm gonna try to wrap it up now. Here's let me show you a couple of crosses that we've got. Here's a lovely off center, right? Just very plain cross. That off center cross LE286 is the skew. Here's something a little more traditional, kind of gothic maybe, but LE056 is that lovely cross charm. Here's one very contemporary. Oops, looks like it got bent. Right, very contemporary. Right, all those pieces are all separate. LE285 is this. That's kind of cool, actually. Here's one, and I know this. I can't remember the significance of this, but I know that it's a thing, right? It's like an anchor with a snake going around that crucifix. I don't know what it is, like some Mariners thing. LE293, and not the Seattle Mariners, the baseball team, but the actual Mariners. This gorgeous. I think is that an Ouroboros, right? The snake eating its own tail. Gorgeous. And hollow, so it's not super heavy, but it's pretty big. LE301 is your code for that. How many people knew that that symbol of a snake eating its own tail was called Ouroboros? Probably y'all did. You guys are smart. If you're still watching, you're smart. Here's another very contemporary. God, that's gorgeous. Not a religious person myself, but golly, that's very cool. It looks like the kind of thing I would make if I were fabricating that stuff. I love that. The frame on the outside of the basic shape, and then filling the insides. I guess it's kind of like a filigree, but it's not really filigree. This filigree concept, anyway. I think, but just very cool. Those Rococo stylings on the inside. Here's that last. No, not quite the last one. Oh, that's not a cross at all. That is. Oh golly, I can't remember the name of them. It's a thing. It looks like a door knocker, right? Oh, but there's a name for that thing. I can't remember it off the top of my head. LE300 is your total. This is the last cross I'm going to show you. Oh, of course it's in a bag. Right. classic, very super, very traditional. LE058 is your code number. So charms, crosses, we got them. Are there anything to call it? You know what? There's just so you know, there are whole trays of other charms that I've missed. Golly, some of these. Look at how cute this one is. That little dancer with the cubic zirconia, all right, the pave dress thing. God, just love that. But let me just do this, because at this point I've gone over an hour. Right, so golly, there's just so many. Look at those money bags. Those are upside down. They're money bags. Very cool. I love that snake. Look at that. Boy, there's just too many to do in a thing. I'm glad I made the decision to only do charms and not connect. Look, more feathers. Fish. Look at the fish. Oh my God, there's flowers. Too many things. So again, I'm sorry. I know I've gone over an hour. I said I would try to keep it under an hour, but I failed again for the, what is this, the 15th, 16th episode? 18th episode. For the 18th episode, I failed at keeping it under an hour. So, I don't know. I think I'm just going to have to figure out something else to keep these smaller. If you have any questions, of course, you know, you can always look on the website, look under charms. It's just there. You can type in, if you want feathers, type in feather in the search bar. You'll see tons of those charms with the, you know, with the feathers. You know, anything like that. You know, you're, of course, if you're in the local area, you're always welcome to come in and have a look at all the charms. There's literally hundreds that I haven't been able to show you. You know, so it's pretty rare that, I mean, everybody has their a concept in their mind, everything. Boy, wouldn't it be nice if I had a charm that looked like this? And that thing that's in your mind, you'll almost never find exactly that thing unless you make it yourself. And we can help you with that. We can do the custom thing. Or we can find something that's, you know, probably close enough to what you wanted to make it work for you. And that's our goal, to always have enough things that are hopefully exactly what you want, or failing that, close enough that you're happy with it. And that's our point. That's our whole reason for being here, is to make you happy. If nobody else is here to do that for you, trust that we are. So I'm just gonna, yeah. Next week, again, we'll do connectors. I think that'll be a little bit smaller section, although even when I'm thinking of that now, I'm thinking of all the connectors we have. I'm going to definitely keep it under an hour next week. Promise. Promise. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next Wednesday, 10:30. Again, share the video. Get your free polishing cloth. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, you can email us anytime through the website. Join us in the little chat on the website, the TDO chat thing. We're almost always there answering your questions. There's so many ways to connect with us that if you don't and you need to, it's because you're not trying. So try. Please connect with us. We're always here. We're here to answer your questions. It doesn't have to be about setting. It could be about anything jewelry related. And we'll either answer your questions or we'll make something up. or we'll figure out what your question is and get it answered for you. So again, thanks for joining us this week. We'll be back next Wednesday at 10:30 Pacific and all the other time zones, depending where you are. We'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Okay.